He had a lot to say about it.
He's Lane. Listen, Lane's fired guy. Lane's fired up, and I couldn't believe. I don't want to say I couldn't believe. I was taken aback by the owner talked trash to our owner, the coach talked trash to our coach.
It was obviously something he heard. He specifically said, Bill said something to Doug. I mean, he obviously knew that there was something said before the game started.
I would just say the reputation of the Patriots around the league, not a lot of people in love with the Patriots. But I don't mind that. They don't like the way they do business. There is a certain amount of arrogance with teams who are successful. There's a certain amount of arrogance and confidence that the Patriots have. I believe there's a proper mixture of both, because everything that they've won in the NFL, they've earned it. Like, they've earned it. Like, he's coached up these players. They have made the plays. They make more plays in big games than the rest of the team. So if that's part of the Patriot way, that's what they do. In critical situations, they play those better than anyone else. And at some point, if I'm Lane, because I got to respect, there's a lot of intel that goes on in the NFL that's not public knowledge. He started letting you know about that. That's the first time we heard about the owner. If there was something between the Eagles owner and the Patriots owner, it's not the first time we've heard about there was maybe a conversation between Bill Belichick and Doug Peterson before the game, that Lane is obviously seeing it as disrespectful. But it's May. You're Super Bowl champs. You got to stop talking about last season and start talking about your team. You got to start concentrating on what the Eagles need to do to defend Super Bowl 52. The Patriots aren't worried about the Eagles. They're not talking about you, and you shouldn't be talking about the Patriots. And from a respect standpoint, I heard that then. You put that in there as a disqualifier. Oh, I respect them. Well, I ask you, Lane, if you respect the NFL, get on to the business of the NFL. You are the Super Bowl champs. You do not have to keep addressing the New England Patriots. You don't have to you can cut off the question. You control these interviews. Lane likes being part of the media. It's kind of new to him. He needs to understand that. Patriot questions right now, they're irrelevant. It's about me and my teammates, and if you want to ask any question about them, I'm willing to address those.
All right, let me just ask you real quick a follow-up on this, because when I heard Jeff Lurie allegedly said something, talked trash to Robert Kraft, and Bill Belichick allegedly talked trash to Doug Peterson, it felt to me like something that right before a Super Bowl or in the week leading up to it, a coach throws in as extra motivation, whether it's accurate or not. And their owner said this to our guy, and you won't believe what Belichick said to me. When I mentioned that to you before the show, you said that can't be the case, that you can't make up that type of lie, so to speak, just to motivate your players.
Yeah, players are smart enough. Players see through things, and players expect you to be honest with them. There's enough things going around the Super Bowl that they didn't have to create. Players don't need to be motivated in the biggest game of their life, especially when it's the Eagles going against the Patriots. The Eagles knew what they were up against.
And the Patriots, do they care? They don't. The Patriots, part of the Patriot way is carrying themselves on some semblance of a proverbial perch, if you will, that they don't listen. They don't need to be motivated by words. They don't clip headlines. They don't care who likes them or don't like them, because if they did, I don't think this would be the path that would have drawn them such success.
That's always the response from pro athletes. They don't care. They don't listen.
You think they care?
Well,
the Patriots?
I know this. I'm not guessing. I watched Tom versus Time. Tom's hearing what people are saying, because he's saying stuff to contradict what people are saying. I know they're human. I know the players, even though Belichick would like to perform a certain way, the other players, I know a lot of the players play for their team. They got fun. The players hate the fact that Belichick gets all the credit. Like, we never talk about New England, how good their players are. Oh, it's only Gronk, it's only Brady, and it's Belichick. Those are the only players that they have. The players there, they do care.
There was something else Lane Johnson said in this, though, that I do think is instructive and interesting for the 30 teams that aren't the Patriots or the Eagles, for any team that's going to play the Patriots. And he made the point that he felt like a lot of teams are beat before halfway beat, he put it, before they take the field against New England. That the Patriot mystique, the aura of Tom Brady, that it gets in their head, and that they don't play their very best game. And Lane Johnson, his point was, man, I'm not going to play a single snap against Tom Brady. I'm focused on their defense. He said, I didn't think their defense was that great. He talked about the yards they were then able to accumulate on the defense. I do think that's noteworthy for other teams. And I also personally am rooting I know people think I'm not an Eagles, that I'm against the Eagles because I picked against them last year, but I am rooting for the Eagles to have sustained success. Because this Lane Johnson stuff, even if you think it's now too far into the offseason, it's much more fun as a football fan than the Patriot way. It's much more interesting than we're focused on Cincinnati, we're focused on Baltimore, we're moving on to the next week. It is more fun to have some of the soap opera stuff, and if they can be successful despite it, or maybe not just despite it, but in part because of it, that could be good for the NFL.
As Denny Green would tell us, we're paid handsomely to play professional football. It's not high school. It is not college, and people expect a professional performance. It's about playing well. So when I'm not rooting for any team. I'm rooting for good football. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if the guys can be quote machines. I don't care if the guys can't say anything. However you can put a good football team together, and I know there's many different ways you can do it. But in the last 30 years in my association with the NFL, there's been no one more successful than the Patriot way. So I respect that because it's won out over time.
All right, we'll leave it at that.